Shalom and welcome to another edition of Israeli Salad. This week we'll visit a special pre-army program, meet a group from Canada, and get to know a Jewish musician from Kfar Chabad. Let's get started. Before we start, I wanted to remind you all that we're still waiting for more emails about ideas on how to reach more Jewish communities abroad. My email is yoni@israelnn.com. So, don't be shy, email away. First, I'd like to take you to a unique pre-army program where I met a nice group of teenagers full of idealism. The Academy for Israeli Leadership, Mechina Lemanhigut in Kfar Adumim, has one main goal.
Hopefully, in 10-15 years, some of our graduated students will lead Am Yisrael.
The students in the Academy are all high school graduates who postpone their army service 1 year in order to study in the Academy. There are many pre-army programs in Israel, but the vast majority of them are religious. The students of the Leadership Academy aren't homogeneous.
The most beautiful thing in this mechina is that we have here people from all kinds of backgrounds. We have religious, we have non-religious, we have conservative, we have orthodox.
Like some of them are from north, Kfar Vradim, some from south, Dimona. You have kibbutznikim, you have moshavnikim.
We have so much kind of people, and it helps us so much to live with them.
This was the first time that I met with religious people and share my life with them, and it's a very good experience. Now I know much more about the Jewish religious because I don't come from a religious house, and I know how to live with them, and I learned that I need to compromise in some cases if we want to live in peace and with just in a good way.
In the Kfar Adumim Mechina, the students study many topics.
We learn political philosophy, general philosophy, philosophy of the education,
economy, philosophy, psychology. We are practicing to the army.
We also study Zionism and about the Jewish people from in the history and nowadays.
In order to lead Am Yisrael, you have to learn a lot. They go touring at least 1 day a week. They go into the history of the Jewish nation in Eretz Israel.
In addition, the students volunteer once a week performing community service. As a pre-army program, the Mechina teaches the students to strive to give the most to society.
More than 50% of our students become officers in the best units. The girls mainly go to education aspects in the army, and the boys go to the combat units or intelligent units.
And now I really think about politics, and I'm not sure about that, but I think I need to do a change in this country.
I really want to be, my big vision is to be the mankalit of the Misrad HaChinuch.
The head of the education ministry.
That's my big vision.
I want to join to the army in the summer, I hope so, in a military combat, in a combat unit.
In order to nurture the group's leadership skills, the students themselves take part in managing the Mechina. The students make many of the decisions while planning the educational schedule and determining the Academy's regulations. The students and directors believe that through the bond and friendships that develop throughout the year, the Academy is helping build the next generation of Israeli leaders.
If we won't have today people that take responsibility about changing the situation, then the situation will get worse.
These people became my best friends ever. Since the day I was born, I haven't had this kind of friends.
But not one leader will change the situation in Eretz Israel. Only groups that are demanded to this mission, this vision of Medinat Israel and Eretz Israel as an example for other societies in the world, only a group can cause a change. And we work about the connections between them.
So that'll be all for now from the Leadership Academy in Kfar Dumim. Who knows, maybe one of the people we've met here today will be a future prime minister, president, or maybe an IDF chief of staff. We'll be back in the studio right after this. You're far away from Israel, but did you know you could enter an Israeli mall? Israel NN Mall is the source for wonderful Israeli and Jewish gifts on the web. So check out our site at IsraelNNMall.com. Earlier this week, Shlomo Blast joined a group from Toronto, Canada, who, in memory of a friend, came to support Israel's Defense Force. Shlomo spent the day celebrating the first day of the month of Kislev with soldiers and tourists together.
The sight of Canadian Jews and IDF soldiers dancing together with Torah scrolls is not a common sight, much less so in this IDF base in the heart of Samaria. These celebrations in the Benjamin Regional Division headquarters mark the dedication of a unique collection of 8 Torah scrolls, contribution of Jews from the Toronto community.
These Sifrei Torah have come literally like the Jews are coming from the 4 corners of the earth. We have one Sefer Torah that was burnt by the Nazis. We have another Sefer Torah that made a long journey from Iraq, from 150 years ago, from Iraq to Egypt and then to Canada.
The dedication of Torah scrolls to the IDF is only part of a unique project commemorating David Rosenzweig, who was murdered close to a year and a half ago in Toronto. The mobile synagogue here in the Rimonim IDF outpost, visited by the Torontonians earlier in the day, is only one of 3 which friends and family of David have already donated. There couldn't be a more fitting way to commemorate David, say those who knew him as a man of Torah and love for Israel.
It's a wonderful way to honor David. It honors David's love of Israel. It honors his love of the Jewish people. It honors his love of Torah. And it honors his concern for the soldiers of Israel.
But dedicating the scrolls in synagogues is not only a special way to commemorate a loved family member. It also corresponds to a growing demand among IDF units.
There's no question that since the war began, the army is more spread out in many smaller locations than just simply big bases with regular synagogues. And as a result, the need for the mobile synagogues and the Sifrei Torah has grown tremendously.
Soldiers of the Benjamin Division and the Infantry Duchifat unit, slightly overwhelmed by the unusual visit, tried to give their guests a taste and a look into some of the army routine. What might seem to an outsider like a meeting between 2 completely different worlds seemed today more like a family reunion.
Okay, before we meet the singer Rabbi Tuvia Bolton, our weekly insight. Rabbi David Samson joins me from Jerusalem. Shalom, Rabbi Samson. Today I'd like to ask you about the law of a married woman covering her hair. What's the meaning of this law, this halacha?
Shalom, Yoni. Shalom to all of our listeners. Women covering their hair, I'm sure, is a very touchy point. And I'm not even sure that it's a kosher point to discuss over the air if you want your rating to stay the same. I have to say that orthodoxy is pretty straightforward on this point, and that married women should cover their hair, as unpopular as that might sound. Now, the idea behind it is that a married woman is supposed to save her beauty for her husband, and that a woman's hair is an integral part of a woman's beauty. And it's something that a woman keeps to her husband and doesn't necessarily have to share with the rest of the world, as unpopular as that might be in modern Western society.
So a woman shouldn't try to be attractive?
A woman should look good, she should feel good about herself, and she should make sure that when she leaves the house, she looks presentable. But the word attractive has something which is interfering with the special relationship that she should have with her husband, and it's a very delicate line, something that the couple should really work out together. Everyone has to feel good about themselves, men and women, and especially women who are outside and working in forms of business. women should make sure that they are presentable in a fashion that they feel good about it for themselves.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Samson. Right after this, we'll be with Rabbi Tuvia Bolton, absolutely a rockin' rabbi.
The Weekly Insight is brought to you in cooperation with Machon Meir, the largest Zionist institute in Israel, bringing people closer to Judaism.
You are watching Israel National News TV.
Shalom, we are joined now by Rabbi Tuvia Bolton from Kfar Chabad, a Jewish musician. Shalom, Tuvia. First of all, if you can tell us a bit about yourself.
I was born in Detroit, Michigan. I learned I wasn't born in a religious family. I grew up very secularly. I used my philosophy degree to be a singer in bars and discotheques around in the Ann Arbor area. I had 4 different bands, and one of them was a country and western band, and another was a blues band, each one with different types of bars. And it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself like everybody in the 60s enjoyed themselves. But I had a lot of doubts, if really what I was doing was the right thing, if maybe there was something else. And at that time everybody was searching around anyway, so I searched around. And at that time everyone was also taking LSD. But I didn't take LSD until one day I went to see the grand guru of LSD, the evil Dr. Leary, if anybody's ever heard of him. And he had me completely convinced until he said this following sentence. He said, everything in the world is good, do whatever you want to, just open yourself up, don't feel bad about anything. He said, the only thing that's bad is the theistic Jews and their jealous God. So I thought, why in the world did he pick Jews? And I had no Jewish identity particularly. I figured, like the joke they say in America, you have your bar mitzvah is like 99% bar and 1% mitzvah. And the 1% that I had, I threw that away when I went to university. So I figured, what's he talking about Jews for? Of all the people, why did he pick Jews? So I started to think maybe something really is different about the Jews. And from that, little by little, it led me to reinterpret all these different mystical and literature that I had really been steeped into. And I started little by little throwing these other books and these other philosophies away until I came to Judaism. And then I went searching around the different types of Judaism to see really what sort of provided me the answers to my questions. And until finally, after trying all the different, what they call streams of Judaism, I finally got around to Chabad. And I went to the Lubavitcher Rebbe and I saw him, and then I knew that there was something special about being a Jew, and I decided that was it.
And then you came back to the field of music?
About 10 years ago, I decided to pick it up again. Because one of the main principles one of the main foundations of Judaism is that a person, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe said it many times, that a person has an obligation to utilize all the talents that God has given him in order to make the world a better place. So I started writing songs about that. For instance, the idea that you come to Israel and the Israelis are outside of that. That's maybe a bit of a more funny thing. But the idea, of course, the terrible situation that we're in Israel because there's no real leadership, and the only real leadership will be Mashiach. So I write songs about how it'll be good when Mashiach comes, and it's all up to us to do what we can to prepare the world. But, about how good it is to be a Jew, about Rachel. I have a nice song about Rachel. Rachel, dry your eyes, your day has finally come. And about Rachel Imenu. It's a nice song. That's on the second album I put out.
So how do you feel about Jewish music? I mean, how do you feel music can be a tool for worshiping God?
So music, of course, it explains that the angels were created before people. The angels were already singing. So angels were singing before people sang. So it explains in the works of Chassidut that the angels are singing for 2 reasons. First of all, because they get a big revelation of God. And because they get a revelation of God through their happiness, they're singing, b'simcha. And also the angels want a higher revelation of God, so they're striving upward. So on one hand, song is to go out of yourself, to go out of yourself. On the other hand, song is to express something that you've got.
So Reb Tuvia, we're going to end with another song. So first of all, if you could tell us about this song.
Beit HaMikdash. We're going to build a Beit HaMikdash. Listen, if Jews want to be happy, the only way they can be happy is through the Torah. The Torah is a mesamchei lev. It makes a person happy. It makes a person genuinely happy and eternally happy. And the only way the Jewish people are going to be happy is if they can really use the Torah in a complete way. And that's only when the Beit HaMikdash. When the Beit HaMikdash is built, then we'll be able to do all the commandments again. And of course, all the Jewish people will be in the Holy Land again. So we want it to happen as soon as possible, and that's the purpose of this song, to be happy, and with our happiness, we'll hopefully build the Holy Temple, and then we'll show the world what the world is really about.
So Rabbi Tuvia Bolton, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to meet soon in the near future in the Holy Temple, the Beit HaMikdash.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming and visiting Kfar Chabad, the holy city of Kfar Chabad, and I hope that soon all the Jews will be here.
And to all our viewers, thank you for joining us for another edition of Israeli Salad. Join us again next week. Until then, Shalom.
Let me sing you a little song. It's got some words from the holy tongue. Bim heira, which means very quickly, you know. You can sing it wherever you go. It will make you happy when you're feeling low. Bim heira. You know, people are basically good. They're just missing a little brotherhood to respect one another. So I want to build a central place where every person in the human race can see that we are really brothers. What do I want to do? I want to build a Beit HaMikdash. I build a Beit HaMikdash. That's a holy temple, you know. Yes, I will. In Yerushalayim, everyone together we will build a Beit HaMikdash. Build a Beit HaMikdash. All God's children together. Bim heira. Here's the music part. Let me tell you a little trick. We're gonna build this mikdash brick by brick, and every brick will be made of love. That's one thing that we've got plenty. Do not worry, it's almost done. Won't you come and join? It will be a lot of fun. Yeah, it will be a great success. It's just missing a little happiness. We've got to build a Beit HaMikdash. Build a Beit HaMikdash. Yes, we will, yes, we will. In Yerushalayim, everyone together we will build a Beit HaMikdash. Build a Beit HaMikdash. All God's children together. Bim heira. Here's the finale, here's the finale. Whoa, it will really be sababa. Much, much better than Olam Haba. Yeah, the whole world will be Beseder. Can there be anything greater than to rejoice with our Creator? Everyone sing a build a Beit HaMikdash. Go build a Beit HaMikdash. We're gonna build a Beit HaMikdash. Yes, we will build a Beit HaMikdash. Oh, we're gonna build it, build it. Yes, we're gonna build it, build it, build it. Yes, we're gonna build it. Build it, 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 build it.